Yo, what's going on, Epic 7? I'm Sue, and this is my beginner's guide to Abyss Challenge Mode Floor 10. Floor 10 will have you facing off against Sez. In order to get 5 stars on this floor, you cannot trigger Sez's Outrage, and you cannot play a starting 5-star grade hero. So basically, only 3 stars, only 4 stars, only 3-star specialty changes is what you want to play here. Now, in order to not trigger Sez's Outrage, it's tied to this passive here, Dark Aura. It says, after Encroach, the effect from Dark Shadow is triggered for the 4th time, grants Outrage. Now, that's specifically Encroach from the effect of Dark Shadow, from what I can tell. Dark Shadow says, attacks the enemy with Dark Energy with a 75% chance to decrease attack for 2 turns. After attacking, when the target's health is 70% or less, so basically whatever Sez is attacking, if after the damage is done from Dark Shadow, they have less than 70% health, he will use Encroach. That counts as one of the 4. Or, whenever Sez's health is 40% or less, he will activate Encroach. So if he attacks at under 40% health, that counts as one of the 4. The reason I'm making this distinction that it is Encroach from the extra effect of Dark Shadow is because, as you can see here in Dark Aura, it says, after Sez is attacked and his health is 40% or less, he will activate Encroach and change his combat readiness to 30%. Additionally, Encroach is a move he can use every 3 turns. So yeah, he has 3 versions of Encroach basically in this fight, and only one of them actually matters towards the Outrage. It's a little bit confusing. The long and short of it is this. At under 40% health for Sez, it's go time. You want to kill him as fast as possible. You want to line everything up so that you can kind of burst him from 40 to 0 nearly instantaneously in just 1 or 2 attacks. That is the easiest way to beat this fight. Last passive we have to talk about here is this one here, Use of Force. At the start of Sez's turn, if he has a debuff, he will recover 10% health and dispel one of those debuffs before giving himself a 50% chance to grant an extra turn at the end of the turn. So if he has multiple debuffs, this can stack. He can kind of chain turns together, which means that he has a pretty good chance of getting more Encroaches and thus outraging more often. He receives only 50% of damage from things like Daydream Joker. That's fine. We're still going to play it. And also, CR pushbacks are decreased on him by 50%, so you can't really cheese him. He's also accompanied by these 2 Constroms, not really sure how to pronounce this, but yeah, they're just the 2 rock monsters. They use AoE attacks, they strip buffs from you, they defense break you from time to time. They're annoying, but for the most part, you can kind of just ignore them entirely, assuming that you actually have a good Soul Weaver or good Cleanser that can keep defense break off of you. It's not really, really important. One last distinction I do want to make, though, about Use of Force. Unlike Sez in previous Abyss floors, where every time you hit him, if he has a debuff, he will actually heal. In this case, it's only at the start of his turn. So the best strategy in order to kill him, like I said, is burst him from 40 to 0. So you want to place a defense break on him going into 40%, and then just have your damage dealers pile on and kill him in 1 or 2 hits. That is the best way to do that. And now that you know the mechanics, let's talk about who we're using and why. So, Adventurer Raz is my tank of choice, pretty much because I always use him for everything, unless, like, for some reason the mechanics don't allow it, and that is because of Command Strike. Yes, you're using Command Strike from a red character into a blue, so it does have a 50-50 chance to miss, but if you actually land the defense break from Command Strike, it makes the fight trivially easy at 40%, because you can Command Strike, defense break him, pull in your best damage dealer, that hits them for big damage, and then if they get another turn after that, they probably just win the fight outright. That's why I'm playing this. The only other, like, 3-star tank you could realistically play here is Falconer Kluri, and if you want to go that route, you are more welcome to do so. She does pretty much the same exact thing. You S3, defense break, and try to chain together a bunch of attacks when he's low on health to finish him off very quickly. As for what we're playing and why, Aureus here is going to be our artifact. Health percentage necklace, health percentage ring, boots are speed. If you care about defense breaking, about 60%, I would say, is where you'd want to be. Probably 50-60% is pretty much good for this fight. As for our non-5-star healer, Angelic Montmorency is going to be probably, in my opinion, the best choice. Feel free to play whatever you want, but because Montmorency has so much combat readiness cycling in her kit, if you put her on Magarajo's Tome as your artifact, she will take so many turns, and it'll be very difficult for Sez and his ads to ever bring anyone underneath 70% health, and she'll generate a ton of souls to be able to soul burn your Raz, which is why I recommend her. Health percentage here on the necklace. Ring can be either health percentage or effect resistance, and then boots are going to be speed. As for my primary damage dealer, I'm using Commander Lorena, but you can use whatever you want. Remember, it must be a 3 or 4 star hero, and ideally, you want it to be somebody who has a basic attack skill that does not have debuffs. So for example, you could play Bloodblade Corrin if you wanted to, because she has no debuffs on her basic attack skill. But a character like Savior Auden, for example, has unbuffable and therefore can potentially heal Sez, cause an extra turn, and trigger that outrage. So make sure you are aware of that. Whatever damage dealer you decide to choose, make sure they do not have on their basic attack skill, or most of their damaging skills for that matter, some kind of debuff, right? Not too many to choose from, considering you can only play 3 or 4 star characters here. Anyways, artifact is Daydream Joker, necklace is critical hit damage, attack percentage on our ring, and boots are attack percentage. Now in the last slot, you can play whatever you want. If you want to play another damage dealer, you are welcome to do so. But for me, I think the best thing for you to do is to play some kind of guaranteed dual attacker, right? Or some kind of CR pusher. So for example, if you decide to play Bloodblade Corrin as your damage dealer here, then that is your thief slot. You would have the warrior slot open. You could play somebody like Kitty Clarissa or Camilla in the slot in order to get extra dual attack chance. If you decide not to play Angelic Montmorency, you could play somebody like Lots, or if you just have, auxiliary Lots, which is beyond the scope of this guide series, you could also play him in that slot. For me though, I'm gonna play Lilka because she just has a combat readiness on her S2, technical support. None of these other abilities matter because they give debuffs, and therefore, I'm never going to be using Lilka to attack Sez throughout the entire fight, right? I'm not going to use my S1, I'm not going to use my S3 on him. They're just going to be throwaway moves into the actual ad. I'm only playing Lilka because she can push Commander Lorena up the CR bar and thus give Commander Lorena more damage. You could even play Righteous Thief Ruzid in the slot. It does not really matter. As for how to build her, just 4-piece speed set and speed boots. It's that simple. Just as long as she doesn't die in like one hit from some AoE attack, you're pretty much good to go. Again, anything can work in the slot as long as it facilitates whatever your damage dealer is trying to do. Anyways, now that you know the team and the mechanics of the fight, let's get into it.
Will I be able to pull this off?
Alright, so to start here with Lilka, we're just going to use S2 here to push up our Lorena.
Leave it to me.
My spear will protect everyone.
S3 for the souls.
I will pierce everything.
I'll protect you.
S3 for the souls, even though they're most likely going to get stripped, the buffs here.
I can't stop.
Get encroached.
Is
We
it
want
my
to
turn?
go S3 for the souls.
Just a little. I really want to help. I'll keep
And then we
going.
S2 to heal off the rest of the
I'll
debuffs.
need to do my best.
We can S3 one of these just to slow it down.
If I must fight,
Then we can Soulburn Sez
I
here.
hope you're ready.
I'm ready. I will continue my training.
So we did more than the 10%, so it's not the end of the
I'll
world.
help you. Here I go.
S2 again for the cycling. S1 here.
I'm not looking forward to this.
All right, let's do this.
Get S1 to try to strip the speed ball.
The spirit of a commander.
S1 Sez.
I will do my best.
S3 in order to top off Rouse and get the souls.
Your pain away. I hope this goes
Alright,
well.
push up Lorena.
I'll keep going.
S2 for the
This
turn
will be
cycling.
painful.
Should we get started?
Right. Then we can go Soulburn again.
Take this!
Let's fight together. The Order of the Shield does not back
Alright,
down.
and then we go here. And now we're just outside of 40%, right? Oh, we're just under, my bad. So now, like I said, it's go time.
Is it my turn?
So we're gonna just hit Sez here because we're just trying to do as much damage as we can.
I can't stop. If I must fight, no
S3 for the souls.
can stop me.
My spear will protect everyone.
S3 for the damage.
Feel my might in the point of my spear.
I'll need to do my best this
We
time.
can S3 to try to
I'll
slow this
focus
guy
on
down.
one at a time.
I can't stop.
I'll help you. Even if
S3 to
it's
heal up here.
I
S2 here.
Okay. I'm not
See our
so
push
sure
here?
about this,
The
but
spirit of a commander.
S1. Ooh, that stun on Raz was not good.
will I be able to pull this off?
Go here.
Give up any hope of making it back alive.
We got S3 here. It's going to do big AoE damage to us.
I'll keep going. Here I go.
S2.
The Order of the Shield does not
And then
back
S1
down.
here with Lorena, and that should be a kill. And there you go. That's Abyss Challenge Mode Floor 10 in a nutshell. It's not too difficult, like I said. Once you are under 40%, it's pretty much go time. If you get like a lucky S2 with Raz that gives a defense break, in some of my test floors, I've gotten a one-shot kill. I didn't really want to show that one on the video because it makes it seem like it's a pretty big on RNG. I decided to go with this as my completed run because, well, as you can see, it's a much closer call with a bit more RNG, more things going wrong. You can kind of see how we handle things a bit better under pressure. If you still have any questions, feel free to ask them down in the comment section below and post other strategies that you actually were able to clear this floor with so that you could help out your fellow players. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and I'll see you all in Abyss Challenge Mode Floor 11. Later now.